I mean, each week is a new week. You got to just keep battling, going one at a time, and try not to dwell on the past too much. And at the end of the day, just attack each week and just try to be 1-0 each week, and everything will take care of itself from there.
You know, you say each week is a new week, and I know you've said that before. I'm sure when you're playing well, you think, okay, I'm going to play well, you know, this week and next week and next week on the offense. And when that doesn't happen, not you, but the whole team, I mean, how do you just compartmentalize it and go back to the next week? Because it's not just 1 or 2 games. This is 9 games, and it happened last year. You know, I know you don't want to go back, but how do you do that?
Like I said, you just got to come to work each and every day. It doesn't change. Everything's going to keep moving. And at the end of the day, if we want the results to change, we got to keep putting in the work. And that's all there is to it. So,
is it harder? Is it harder to do that when you're 2-7 as opposed to maybe if you were 7-2?
No, I mean, at the end of the day, this is our job and this is what we do for our living. So you got to come in here and do your job each and every week, and can't take this sport for granted, take your spot for granted, especially being in the NFL, period. So I think we're all grateful to be here, and obviously we want to put a good product out there on the field. So just trying to improve each and every day, and just go out there and show progress. So.
Do you see anything from the younger players that might be cause for, I don't know, a long, you know, I mean, did they either come to you or say, look, how do you deal with this? What do we do here? You know, I mean, I'm not used to losing. You know, most of you guys are not used to losing in college, I'm sure.
Yeah. I mean, no, they're not really coming and asking anything, but I think they all were mature enough and know how to deal with adversity. And I think we've all have had to deal with that at some point in our lives. So I think they've all handled it pretty well, and they come to work each and every day too. So
thank you, Wan'Dale. Thank you.
Carol.
Hey, Wanda, how's it going?
Doing well. How are you?
Good. What did you guys see from watching the film back, and what were the discussions in the receiver room, kind of breaking that down?
I mean, at the end of the day, still we can do better in the run game, just training from our aspect, and obviously wanting to have some plays back, but just really got to go out there and make plays whenever they're coming to us, and that's really about it.
Thanks.
All right, Dunleavy.
Hey, Wan'Dale, thanks for doing this.
Yep.
What'd you think when Daniel ran over that guy at the 1-yard line?
I was kind of surprised, but then I was like, I mean, DJ's a pretty strong dude, so I mean, he could do it. But no, I was excited. I was, especially for him, just running that in, and then to see his celebration, he was just kind of turned up. You don't really see that side of him, so I was happy for him. But we were just ready to get back out there and go score some more. So.
Why do you think he was that? You took the words out of my mouth. I'm not going to say, I was going to say turned up. That's not really my word. But why do you think he was so energized or so put so much emotion on display? I mean, obviously you're not naive, Wan'Dale, to the fact that it's been a rough season for him. He gets a lot of arrows from people around the NFL. Do you think that's starting to come out of him?
I don't really think he tries to look too much into what everybody's saying. He doesn't really have too much of the social media, I know, on his phone. So don't know how much he really sees it. But I mean, I just think that's just kind of the fire that's starting to come out of him. And I think he knows that we like to see it. And I think just the momentum of that game, whenever he scored, we were just hoping to, you know, keep it going. And we're hoping to come out with a win. So.
We're not at every practice the way we are in training camp. We only get the first 15 minutes in the season. So, like, can you give me an idea? What do you do with DeVito and Locke? Do you stay after practice and catch passes with them? Or have you not caught a ball from anybody besides Daniel since, September 1st?
No, I mean, Tommy and DeVito, whenever we're going through walkthroughs and things like that, they're in the back, and if Daniel throws the ball to one of the receivers, we're catching the ball from one of the other guys. So, I mean, it's nothing crazy, but I mean, at the end of the day, we all catch the ball from kind of everybody. So,
all right, thanks, Ben.
Last one, Tom Rock.
Wan'Dale, I jumped on a little late, so I'm sorry if this is a repeat. But when you saw the touchdown that got negated by the penalty, do you feel like you guys did anything wrong on that play?
not for me to say. Obviously, wish it was a touchdown, but I think we're sending it into the league and see what they have to say and see if we got to do anything different. So,
no, I've never had a concussion before. I did. I hit my head on the ground. He kind of, Cam Hayward got my legs, and I kind of just went down. I was protecting the ball, so I couldn't brace for impact. And I went down, hit my head, and honestly, like, they thought that like I was knocked out, but I wasn't. I was just sitting there because like, when you hit your head, it hurts. So I was just like laying there for a little bit, just trying to, collect myself. And then as they, was yelling everybody off the field to come on the field and get me, went to the tent. They, was saying, asking me questions and everything like that. And I was fine. Me personally, I think I could have went back in the game, but I think, for protocol reasons and just making sure that, I'm safe and, that I don't really injure myself anything further. They pulled me from the game. But other than that, like I think I was cool. I never had, I never had a concussion before. But the Giants and the trainers, doctor did, what they thought was right at the moment.
And then yesterday was obviously such a run-heavy first half. What did you like? What did you guys see that you were trying to take advantage of there? And then the second half, what did you see out of Daniel Jones? Because he obviously took a back seat the first half. What did you see out of him in the second half that encouraged you?
Yeah, I mean, the first half we were just taking what was given to us. We seen that the run game was working, so we just stuck to it. We're trying to tip our hat to Washington, and they did a good job. The second half taking some of the run game away, but in the first half we really stuck to our roots. Went back to running downhill, and it was working out. We had like 100-some yards in the first quarter, so like whatever we was doing, it was working. So I wasn't opposed to it. I was loving it. When we run the ball, I love it. But at the same time, I do commend some of the receivers. Wan'Dale, Leak, Slay, they was in there, making big blocks, like just to make some of the big runs happen. So I feel like it's not obviously it's a run emphasis, but the receivers have a huge part in it as well. And then in the second half, they start reaping the benefits of it, because when you start running, the defense, they make changes to stop the run, which opens up some of the passes in the back end.
Thank you.
Yep.
Paul Schwartz.
Hey, Tyrone, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Good. Unfortunately, your rookie year, there's more losing than winning so far. Are you noticing, is losing different in the NFL? You know what I mean? When you got 30-year-old players, you got guys married, kids, they've been their business for 10 years. What do you sense in the locker room after these games that maybe is different from what you've ever experienced before? Yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't say it's different in the NFL. I think that it's more responsibility based in the NFL. Like we get paid to do this. So I feel like it's our responsibility to make sure that, we come out of this hole. Like, the coaches, they don't get to go out there on Sundays to play the game. It's our duty, our responsibility to make sure that, we go out there and do our part, do our 111. And that's kind of been the motto around the locker room, just making sure that we're being detailed and really everything that we're doing, on the field and off the field. So I feel like as a team, when that each individual is doing their 111, it puts us in a better position to come out successful. But unfortunately, like that just hasn't been the case, this season. But I'm very optimistic that, things are going to change just because we have the right people in the locker room. We have to continue to take steps in the right direction.